Hello, my dear students. Today we are here with the last chapter of the ID, and that is very much important. Chapter number 8, comparative development, study of our neighboring countries, means India's two neighboring countries, including India, China, and Pakistan. So in this chapter we will going to study the overall development comparisons of India, China, and Pakistan, and we will try to understand this comparison as easy as possible. Let's start this. So if we talk about India, China, and Pakistan, so I have written the few similarities into this, that if we talk about India, then India got free in the year of 1947. Well, if we talk about the Pakistan's freedom is also with the same year 1947. This is GK question, we all are knowing it, but if we don't know about the China, then China is not considered as the democratic nation, but it has been free, or it has been declared as Republic of China in the year of 1949. So you can easily calculate that there is only 1 or 2 years difference between India, Pakistan, and China's freedom. Okay, just we have to remember this, that China is not known as the free country at that time. It was known as Republic of the China. Let's move for the next. India has launched its first 5 years plan in the year of 1951. This we have already studied in the 5 years policy and goals of 5 years, where we have started the chapter, okay, previously. So the same way Pakistan has launched its own 5 years plan, because I think that Pakistan's strategy for the development will be very much similar to the Indian strategies of development, but you will just find the difference between the years. So India has launched the first 5 year plan in the year of 51, and Pakistan has launched in 53, while China has launched its first 5 years plan in the year of 1956 actually. Okay, so this is the launching of the 5 years policy of India, China, and Pakistan. Now if we talk about which economy we have adopted as, so we can say that India has adopted the mixed economy. As I said, that Pakistan has also adopted the mixed economy. So India with the mixed economy, we all know, we have studied this before also, that mixed economy is the mixture of market economy and socialistic economy. So this is the same also, but if we talk about this, then this is something different. China was knowing its economy as a statism, and it is completely different from this both, because this has the similar feature, like the mixed economy includes the market kind of thoughts, means marketing ideologies, and the ideology of socialistic pattern also. While the statism means what? Statism means the resources will be owned by the government only, and the final decision maker will only the government, and the people will be considered as the decision taker. Okay, means people can work in the field, people can work on the land for the cultivation, people can start the industries, people can construct the house, etc. Every such things, normal things they can do, but at the end, every such resources which is there available into the Chinese surrounding, that will be hired or that will be owned by the government of China only. Means China will only lead all the resources of production. Okay, so this is called statism, where all the controls are in the hand of government. Yes, if we talk here that there is simple difference between 5 years plan of India and Pakistan, that India's 5 years plan launched in the 51, Pakistan into 53, but their 5 years plan specially were known as medium term development plan. Okay, what it was known as medium term development plan, that we have to remember. Let's move for the next. When India has adopted the mixed economy and it has started moving with the good flow, India has decided that public sector undertaking, PSU means what? PSU means public sector undertaking. So public sector undertaking means government enterprises will lead a leading role for the development of industrial sector, especially into the large scale segment, where if we talk about the China was also with the same philosophy. China has decided that flagship role will be with the government. So public sector enterprises, okay, or if you can say state owned enterprises, both are same in the China. So China also has decided to lead up with the government sector and enterprises. India has also decided to lead with the government sector enterprises, and yes, Pakistan has also decided to move the economy, to strengthen the economy with the public sector undertaking. So this is the similarity between China, Pakistan and India. Okay, now if we talk about this, I had already discussed this in the previous video lecture also, that our reforms we have introduced in the year of 1991, while China's reforms are divided into two divisions, pre 1978 and post 1978. While if we talk about the reforms of the reforms of the Pakistan, then Pakistan reforms have been launched in the year of, if we talk about the reforms of Pakistan, then it is in the year of 1980. Okay, so reforms of India, reforms of Pakistan and reforms of China, if you see the difference between the year, then the China is the country who have launched its reforms very first. Pakistan was on the second place, but India has actually launched the reforms at very last. But let's see what was the conclusion after launching the reforms. So when India has launched the reforms, we know that we were having the huge pressure of monetary scarcity, and due to that we went to IMF and World Bank and we take the loan, and because of their advice we made the reforms compulsory. That's why our reforms are also known as forceful reforms. But after that also India got the successful result once we have launched the LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. But if we talk about the reforms of China, then Chinese reforms are divided into two parts. The first is pre-1978. So pre-1978 there were two main incidents or two main events which have been happened in the China as a reform. The first is in the year of 1958, and this is known as Great Leap Forward. And that Great Leap Forward event we have studied in the classroom also. This is basically to be remembered with two segments. One is for industrial development and one is for commune system. Okay, every Chinese people have said to set the industries, whether it is very much small or cottage type of industries, even then too you set the industries in your backyard, okay, and you try to produce something and something every day, okay, so that China can become an industrial nation. So their first focus was to set up the industries in the China, and they have launched the commune system as well, okay, where they will not going to perform the agricultural cultivation activity into the different segregation, but they will combine all the communes together, all the farmers together, and all farmers will going to cultivate the same type of crop, so the production will also be high and the productivity will also be high. And about 26,000 communes have been set up, okay. So the communes means what? The group of farmers who will going to perform the same cultivation activity. So this is GLF 1958, and after that there was another event into the pre-78 period, that is Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution. And this under this GPCR which have been started in the year of 65 and till 76, it has been run very smoothly. One of the Chinese Communist Party's leader, who was known as Mao Zedong, he was leading this particular thing, and he has said that we will going to send the people from our country to outside, who are the expert, who are educated, okay, who are skillful, we will send them to some another countries to grow more skill, or to take the more knowledge from the different universities, schools, or different scientific universities or the institutes. And once they will come back into the country, whatever the knowledge they have gained or whatever the things they have studied or learned, that we will going to use for the development of the Chinese economy. With that motive, it was continuously for the development of skill and for the development of education and learnings inside the country by the people who are going outside. Okay, so this is the complete picture of pre-78 period. But if you talk about post-78, then post-78 there are mainly 2-3 things which we have to remember. After 1978, China has started moving from closed to market economy. So China was actually experiencing, or maybe China felt that we are getting success, so China has started moving from closed to market economy. Closed economy means, we have studied this already, where the export import and the foreign businesses are controlled or restricted. That economy is known as closed economy. So China has come to know that if we want a development, then we have to go with the world's other economy also. So China has moved itself from closed to market economy slowly. And China has also started FDI and FII and this all the parameters into their country also. China has also accepted that now private enterprises, PE means private enterprises, will going to also produce the qualitative goods, and SOE yani state-owned enterprises, government-owned enterprises will also going to produce the goods. One side government, one side private people, and nobody will going to control the market, but who will be the better competitor, that particular segment will going to win the market race that has been decided by the China. Including that, the China was observing the dual pricing also during the post 1978 period, where the price for the market goods were different and the price have been decided by the government was also different, because in the beginning itself we studied that China was observing the statism, means what government takes as the final decision, that we have to follow. So the prices for the same good would be different for the market, and it would be different for the government, or it would be different for the other people also. And the special economic zone, SEZ, this concept also we studied in the classroom. SEZ is the special economic areas, means a tax-free areas like this, that government will open the state tax-free area specially for the foreign business setup, where only foreigners can establish their industries. This land will be provided to the foreigners only, and with the foreigners, other foreigners will be only there, and they will going to get some of the tax holidays if they establish the industries into the China in this special economic zone. So China is the leading country in the world who have been set up the first time special economic zone in the world. India has also started special economic zone, copying the China in the year of 2001. Okay, this is not in the chapter, but for your reference guys, that China and India both have the special economic zones, but the China is the first country in the world who have actually launched the first special economic zone. So this is the overall picture of the Chinese economy. But if you see, after making this many good decisions also, China, why it was failing? So the reason is very much simple, that somehow the Chinese strategies that they have been made up for the development of China, that was getting failed. So there were few reasons behind it. Okay, reasons behind, like the first is trust issue on the Chinese products, especially European countries. Okay, especially European countries were having the trust issues on the Chinese products quality. So they have completely restricted the import of the Chinese goods. Okay, so this was the reason. Second, we can say that corruption. Chinese economy was also facing the issue of corruption. Okay, because of the main role of statism, the government's role was main. So to get any permission, people must have to follow the rule. Okay, and if people don't wants to follow the rule, then they have to offer them something. And this way, the corruption have been also expanded into the Chinese economy. So trust issue on the Chinese product, the corruption. Okay, with that we can say that Chinese economy has failed because of the few plans also, because when China has decided to convert the mixed economy, to convert the closed economy into mixed economy and to make the China actually industrial nation, China has actually called a few of the Russian industrialists for the guidance and the proper way, for the guidance and the proper execution of developing the industries. They have called up the few Russians also from the Russia. Okay, but this plan have not been worked thoroughly, because people of China have come to know that there is some of the internal conflicts. Means China has thought, or China has come to know that Russian people who have came into the country to give the industrial guidance, okay, who will going to help us for developing the industries, they are taking our secret information and they are passing it to the country, means they are passing to their own country, means to Russia. And because of this type of ideology or mentality or this type of events, the Russia who have came to set up the industries has not stayed there for the long. So the Chinese industrial development have been delayed also. Okay, so these are the mainly few reasons where the Chinese reforms cannot be considered as completely successful reforms. But if we talk about the Indian reforms, then India has launched the reforms in 1991 as a LPG, and gradually we have started implementing the reform, and India's reforms are one of the successful reforms in the world. Let's talk about the Pakistan. Pakistan reforms were also failed. Okay, Pakistan economy or Pakistan's GDP or whatever you say was also not that much successful. So main is less role of FDI and FII in the Pakistan. Pakistan was inviting actually to foreign development, to the foreign investors to invest the money in sense of direct investment or in sense of institutional investment. Okay, but very few people were ready to take that risk to invest the money into the Pakistan. So less of FDI and lack of FDI and FII into the Pakistan investment. With that we can say that Pakistan was also suffering from the huge corruption, because we have seen that in the Pakistan they have also taken up the policy of government sector enterprises. There the government role was main. Okay, so corruption has raised, and we can say that Pakistan was completely politically Pakistan was completely unstable country. Okay, whomsoever have come as a politician in the Pakistan, maybe they have faced the battles against the Pakistan army, and we have seen from the experience or from the previous events that mainly Pakistan gets led by the army officers or army generals. Okay, so the role of the politician gets very much lower there, and after every 3 or 4 years rapidly the governments frequently gets changed. So Pakistan is the only economy in the world where there is no prime minister who is completing the complete 5 years tenure for them. So because of this much unstable political background, the Pakistan economy has faced the problem of failure. Okay, so this is the overall picture of the chapter. See, this information is given in the book into the different pages, but we have segregated, we have divided this information into the one stand with India, China and Pakistan with one platform, so that we can understand it easily that what is there in the chapter exactly. Okay, let's move for the few last topic which we have to remember, that is one child policy. What have been happened in the China which can be noticed, that is one child policy which have been announced by the China in the year of 1979, and it has been continued till the year of 2016. So we can say that 1979 to 2016 China has continued with the one child policy because of the rapidly growing population, and because of this one child policy China has come to the 0.43% rate of birth every year. That is the successful result of one child policy. But then why this particular policy has been discontinued in 2016 and again two child policy have been started? So there is a simple reason, because this many years China have started one child policy, so the number of girl borns was more than the boys, so it was actually creating the social disparity. If the girls will be more and boys will be less, then the social disparity will be the big issue in the upcoming time. And the second one, that proportion of more number of old age people was also increasing in the China. So China has cancelled this policy one child in 2016 and they have started moving with the two child policy. And this, you will see this question everywhere. Okay, whether you are preparing from the book, whether you are preparing from any material, liberty indicators. So liberty indicators are completely different from the HDI which we have studied from the chapter Human Development Index. Okay, actually if we talk about Human Development Index, it just includes the education, it just includes the health, okay, and it just includes what? So life expectancy. While liberty indicator means what? Liberty indicator is completely different from the HDI. Liberty indicator is very much simple to remember. Liberty means one kind of freedom, but freedom for what? We are already free. We have seen that India is free, China is free, Pakistan is free. Then what is again the liberty indicator? We are free people, but actually if in our country we are getting the chance of political liberty in the state administration, if the state government wants to take any such decision, okay, which can be considered as a major decision, or the public is allowed to participate into the decision making process. So that is called liberty into the state administration processes. Okay, we are not supposed to sit into the state legislative assemblies or into the central government's legislative assemblies, but at least we can vote to the government that what is right and what is wrong, and according to the public's requirement and public's demand, if government is taking decision, it means public have the administrative role into the decision making. And the next is social liberty. Okay, social liberty means what? We have the right to speech. Right to speech does not mean we can speak anything. Right to speech means we can explain our thoughts. Okay, we can express what we are feeling right now. Okay, to anybody. Like if I am suffering from some of the issue, then I can represent myself to in front of any government officer or to the concerned person also. Okay, and we must have the human rights. Humans can be considered as a humans only. Okay, there should not be exploited by any such defense, police or any such department, and they completely follow the humanitarian patterns to live the life. That is human rights are actually. Okay, and the last one is citizens rights protections. Citizens rights protections means what? Citizens rights means we are the Indian citizens. Okay, we got born and brought up here and we are living since long. So being a citizen of India, all the normal rights that I can enter into the temple, okay, I can walk on the road, I can walk in the garden, I can sit in the library, and I can read, means the normal rights that we have studied already when we were in 7th or 8th standard. This all the normal rights are given, but actually it should be followed. That is the human rights and the citizen rights protection. So these things are comes into the liberty indicator. So if you will remember this 2-3 simple things and you can write this question in your word, then it will be excellent for you guys to get the good marks. So this is actually the main topics of the chapter number 8, India, China, Pakistan, and the comparative study of its development. So guys, we have actually end up all 8 chapters here, and I request you guys that you just go through this all the videos during your exams and prepare well and do the best in the exam. Thank you all.